up,
Tristan,
brother?
nice to meet
Good
you.
to meet you, Tristan. Hey,
What up, though?
Hey, this is the Welcome to a Podcast where anything's gonna fucking happen. Anybody might come through the door. I don't know when the show. Oh, I don't know when the show starts, when it ends. None of that. But yeah, this is the Welcome to a Podcast where we talk about all dope things with people that we think are extremely dope in the community, in their field of things that they do. People that have inspired us, that that we just are excited to just see keep blossoming. And so in this space, we just sit down and we just chop it up about things that they're doing on their journey, and maybe they can give y'all some free game because me and Paper already got all the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something out here for you guys.
Yeah.
But now, I'm your host, Leno, and I'm sitting next to the only guy I know who drinks truly out of a fucking sippy cup, the wonderful, illustrious Jeremy Payton.
Yeah. And today,
We have none other but the greatest of all times. Who is Wic Jones.
yo.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yo, what's up?
Nothing much, man. Happy to be here.
He's got a microphone on.
Oh shit.
Dang.
Incognito.
Bro. Yeah. You don't worry about it, bro. You just show up. I'll do the work, bro. You just show up. You just talk your shit.
All right, man. Well, you do the work.
Hey, man. We're at the lab. I guess let's give a little context because this is not our studio. That's crazy.
Yeah, where are we?
We adventured out. We're at the lab studios. Shout out to Mac D.
Shout
This is
out to
an
Mac D.
incredible event he's got going on tonight. He curated some really sick producers, and in my opinion, Chris is probably one of the
top.
sickest.
Top.
Top three in this state. I can confidently say, in my opinion.
And he ain't 3 or 2. Hey,
Whoa!
I said it. Goddamn.
That's love. That's love. I appreciate it.
Hey, yeah, I wasn't trying to bring the.
Here, we got a red cup.
He's starting controversial.
Lance is getting all tequilaed up, talking to people like he's their uncle. It's great. Jeez Louise. What's up, though?
Nothing much, man. Just life, man. Life,
Yeah.
kids,
Tell us about
work.
it, man. We know you got a life. You got a hell of a life.
Yeah.
Over there, man.
Yeah,
Two
man.
babies.
2 babies, man.
Adding to
Bro.
the gang.
Yeah, man. It's been beautiful. It's been a journey. You know, have our 13-year-old, soon to be 13-year-old, and then a 1-year-old and a 2-month-old.
Yeah.
So.
You just a producer, man.
Just producing.
Yeah.
Just creating, huh?
Right, yeah.
In the booth.
Right. In the bedroom. Yeah, no. It's been a long time coming, so, you know, I think it happened at the perfect time, and they're teaching me all the life lessons that, you know. I feel like it was perfect, though, because just maturity level, like having kids now versus years ago, I feel like it would have been very different for me. So it's cool to have them. I feel like okay, this ain't the worst time to have them. So because there is no perfect time. So whatever.
It's not, brother. It's not. What do you think is one thing that you learning about this venture in your life with babies?
I think just patience, man. Like our 1-year-old, he's in a phase where he likes to hit, and particularly in the face. So when you're holding him, he might, you know, be gentle for a second, and the next thing you know, you're getting.
Yeah, bro.
I'm playing mom. No. He's got to be a gentleman and a scholar.
Right, nothing but it, and a basketball.
Shout out to homie.
Yeah, and so it's just interesting, and then like, you know, doing the research of saying like, okay, how do we stop him from doing it? And they're like, just don't react. It's like, okay, well, it's kind of hard not to react when my glasses are getting smacked across the room. Like, it's hard not to react, but you know, we're getting there. So, you know, I think patience has been the biggest thing, but then also just like the innocence. I feel like that plays such a big role, that it's like even when they're crying, it's like they're crying for whatever reason they may find, like it's valid to them, even though we're just like, yo, like you tripping, like, and they're just like, no, you don't get it. They're just like, all right, my bad, like.
I'm new here.
Right.
I've been here for 30 odd years.
Right.
I'm just arriving.
Yeah, this actually is the worst thing that's ever happened in my life.
Ever to date.
Right.
I just shit on myself.
Yeah, and I'm hungry.
I think I gotta shit again.
No, for real though. So it's dope, like just watching them go through the motions, and our 1-year-old specifically, like he's walking now and stuff too, so he's everywhere. Like it's it's a full-time job keeping up with him. Like, went to basketball games this morning for our oldest, and it's just running around after him the whole game, catching what I can. But it's like, yeah, that's the main priority.
Sure.
We got to switch off, and it's like, all right, I get the baby who's just gonna sit here, and it's your turn to go chase Tasmanian devil.
Tag, you're in.
But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and
You guys do a really good job of, because something that you can get lost in when you have kids at that age is like being like still doing fun shit and still like you guys are just buying tickets. I walked in on you.
Trying to for sure, yeah. You know, and that's something that we got to be better at for sure, is just figuring out when are the times to go and you know, have fun and have her mom watch the kids, have my dad watch them, whoever, you know, can keep an eye on them while we just go do something.
That's good for y'all, man. Y'all need that. That's good. 100%. I love that.
Yeah, so we're trying to keep that alive for sure.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Who?
Well, you get tired.
Right. Hey, I'm talking to two vet dads right here, so.
Yeah, boy, tell me about it. I'm like, they said have kids? Who told me to do that? Oh.
Should have stuck to butt stuff, bro.
Yo.
This is hate, ladies and gentlemen.
He said, I do not condone this message.
That's what happens when you drink Trulies out of a fucking metal cup.
Yo.
You know, so how are you juggling? I mean, it feels like you're just in the evolution on all aspects of your life. You want to talk a little bit about like what you got going on with your career and balancing the family with that?
For sure, you know, outside of, you know, daily work stuff, getting, you know, making sure I take care of the business that need to get handled for the family.
Yeah.
You know, with music and stuff, constantly trying to keep evolving and you know, learning more on all the different instruments that I play, you know, bass guitar, keys, just trying to keep my evolution going, because I feel like I'm at my best when I'm always learning. You know, when I stop learning, I feel the stagnant energy of it's like, oh, I don't know what else to create because I'm not learning much more. But it's like when I start,
I'm sorry about that, guys.
when I start, right, I looked already, there ain't no lock on it. We need to put a sign on it.
Make a sign.
But yeah, so just really trying to lock in and keep evolving on these different instruments and finding new ways to start music, because you know, at the end of the day, it could be the guitar at the start, it could be the piano, the drums. So just giving myself more possibilities, and you know.
What are you finding, man, as far as like routine now that you got two little ones, right, added to the gang? Like, what is your routine now? Like, so still trying to figure that out, I'm assuming?
To some extent, yeah. You know, I'm thankful to have a partner with me that kind of understands and, you know, pushes me at times. She's like, go work on music stuff. Like, go. Like, dinner's cooked, dinner's done, whatever. You know, like when stuff are handled, she's like, you know, just go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a big blessing in itself, you know.
Honestly, bro. That
You know,
so much easier,
Hats off to the real partners out there. Shout out to Maria.
Yeah, come on.
In the building. Shout out to all that background.
But yeah, so, but overall, still trying to find the perfect schedule. But you know, there's
not one.
and there really isn't one. But I think it's just finding the right pockets. You know, when the kids are asleep, and you know, I have the time, the bandwidth to, you know, I'll get in the lab and create something, even if it ain't, you know, complete or whatever. It's like, you know, it's an idea. You know, whether it becomes something more now or later on,
totally.
That's to be determined. But you know, just getting them ideas out and. You know, trying to stay just really like completion oriented. Like, you know, just if you start it, just finish it. Like, even if it's not the best, just
everything counts, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a rep.
Man.
It's a rep. So trying to keep that mentality and just keep creating, you know.
Yeah.
If it's trash or not.
That's all perspective.
Touche, it really is.
You were talking about instruments, and I know that you play a ton of instruments. Do you learn them all by yourself, or how are you learning all these instruments?
Pretty much self-learned. You know, I have like resources that I'll tap into, like websites and stuff, that I'll like go and like find different lessons and stuff from, but it's pretty much all just self-taught, you know, just banging my head on these instruments, keep trying to play them, and my family will tell you they're sick of me. We had a movie night the other night, and I'm like, ask my cousin, I'm like, how annoying would it be if I brought my guitar with me and was playing throughout the movie?
Yeah.
She's like,
super annoying.
she's like, you make me sick. Super annoying. I'm like, but what if I play in key and with the music that's playing, so it's less of a distraction? She's like, all right, that might work.
It depends on the movie. What's the movie?
We ended up watching, what was it? Woman in the Yard.
Woman in the Yard.
Yeah, I did not bring my guitar, and I'm happy I didn't,
Is that a
because
horror movie?
it is, and it was
man.
not the greatest, I'll just say. But yeah.
And a Woman in the Yard sounds weird, not scary. Who is this bitch?
Yeah.
That's basically what they were like, and they fucked around and found out. So
Just kill her and move on.
just don't go
Who's
outside.
gonna take the trash off?
We don't know her.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's what it's really about though with the instruments, is like just finding the time to actively practice them. And I read this in a book where it was talking about like just music and like the spirit of learning it.
Yeah.
It's like when we learned our language that we speak, we didn't, sit in a corner and practice these words one by one.
Right.
It was more so it was more so that we were actively speaking with professional language talkers,
Right,
so
right.
the parents where they're naturally sitting there talking to the kids and whatnot. It's like it's the same kind of concept with instruments. It's like be watching TV and playing around with your guitar, so it's not like you're not like super focused in, but you're still practicing.
Passively doing it.
Exactly. And that's how it becomes muscle memory, and not like, oh, I need to go practice for 2 hours,
Totally.
to feel some progress. It's like, no, just practice.
Yeah.
The commercial jingle comes on, find the key of it, find the progression.
Okay.
You got a minute and however many
so
seconds,
yeah, totally.
make it enough.
Not making enough.
Yeah,
That's
so
dope, man.
I love that.
Way to push yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, man, that's probably one thing, we haven't really given Chris his flowers.
Oh,
kind of jump
shit.
into it. I mean, all the people opening up the fucking door, and not you, my boy. But everybody else knocking on this damn, not even knocking, just opening the damn door. But man, I just want to give you your flowers because from the time that I've known you to current moment, you've always been just evolving. And like pushing yourself, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
And
Yeah.
I want you to know, like, I see you, brother. You know what I'm saying? And you probably
That's
one of
love,
my
man.
favorite people to just work with because of your dedication and your attention to detail and your commitment to the craft.
I appreciate
itself
that, man.
And your own craft, so you can contribute. Like, I think of like if I was to make a roster of people of like, you gonna be on my list.
For sure.
Like I'm
That's
picking
love.
you for sure.
For sure.
Because you just handy like that.
Yeah,
You just
I
a man
appreciate
with a
that,
tool
man.
belt. So, shout out to you and your tool belt,
Yeah,
brother.
I appreciate
And I
that.
hope you continue to add to it, man, and you just keep
That's
accepting
the plan, man. That is
shit
definitely the
that makes you
plan.
valuable. You know what I mean? Like extremely through the work you put in outside of working.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
I appreciate that for real, and it's always a battle because I think within that mentality that I built, where it's like I'm always learning. I always say I'm a student to life. I'm a student to my craft and everything. I think that comes with like a double-edged sword because it's like me myself. I never really give me my flowers. It's like that's cool.
Yeah.
It ain't my best, but it's it's cool.
Right,
and
right.
and even when I listen to my best, it's just like I can do better. I want to do better. I want to do something more intricate, something that I feel like I still haven't tapped into with myself. So it's always a journey, and just I appreciate that because again, I don't stop to smell the flowers more often.
We had Wayne Watts on, and Wayne talked about that of just like basking in that. When people give you those, man,
Yeah.
take them, right? Don't
Absolutely.
look at it and be like, oh yeah, it's cool. But
Downplay it or
that shit big, man, because not everybody can do it.
For sure.
And if they can, they're not gonna put the effort in.
Totally.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's love. I really appreciate it for real.
Fuck yeah. One thing that we got this cool little notes over here that I was curious about was the lesson that you learned the hard way. I wanted to talk a little bit about that. You want to jump into that?
I can't even remember what.
ChatGPT.
Nah,
Yo,
what's funny is
Like,
as I
what is
was.
something that I would have learned the hard way? Well, not to put ramen noodles in the microwave without water in them.
Christopher learned that the hard way for sure.
What is that smell?
Yo!
Dead ass. That's exactly what happened with him. He was cooking macaroni and cheese, and he's like, "I didn't know you had to put water in it." Like, bro.
What are you doing? This got
My boy's
sweaty
living in the
everywhere.
He said, I thought it would just
Microwave cooking.
right. Right, do what you do.
We're the ChatGPT generation.
Right, bro. I give so many people stuff for their usage of ChatGPT, but I'm like, hey, work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I wish it was around when I was in school. I would have. A lot of stuff would have gotten done better.
I would have made it all the way to college and then start failing. Like, dang.
Yeah, but I think for the lesson that I put the hard way is just kind of like getting what you like negotiate and overall like not, I don't know, just not everybody's your friend. I remember that, and people, if you let them, they just take. So it's like, I guess that lesson, learning the hard way, man, is not everybody's on the same page as you, and not everybody's actually looking out for you.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking out for self to some extent, and that's not a bad thing, but it's like when you're dealing with people who call themselves your friends and stuff,
Right.
there should be a mutually exclusive,
Yeah, how we
like,
use each other.
yeah,
You use me, I'm using you.
right, like, and
That
that's
should be very clear.
exactly,
Right,
and
yeah.
and some folks, you know, I've had to learn the hard way that they're not interested in that. They're not, or they make themselves seem interested in it, but then in the long run, it's just, okay, well, I got what I needed, and
Right.
thanks.
Right. And it's double hard because it's like we're doing this shit that we love for work. So
Yes.
I would do this for free, but I can't
Yeah,
because
but-
I'll die.
Video right now. Guess how much money I got in my pocket.
I said I would, but I can't. Follow-up statement.
My bad.
But yeah,
Big people won't allow it.
right. Yeah, thank God for them, because they're letting us like, hey, this ain't our time ain't free.
Yeah, for real. For
But
real.
yeah, definitely had to learn that lesson the hard way, and I feel like a few times, you know, I tried to give it a good try a couple times, and it didn't pan out. Yeah, too differently in these situations, and I'm like, you know, it got to a point where it's like, we have to sit down and talk about this, and of course we were always talking business in general,
Sure.
but when it came time to execute,
Yeah.
people weren't always following through, and it's just like, okay, well, this isn't what we discussed.
Sure.
So what are your expectations of me when what we discussed ain't what happened?
Totally, right.
So yeah, it's a toss up, but
Do you think that exists in a certain caliber of people, or you like? Because I feel like it weeds out when you start working with like more, professional people.
for sure,
people
and
that
I definitely think so. Yeah, and I think that always begs this interesting like balance between like clients and friends.
Sure.
And it's like that line can sometimes become blurred when you have like repeat clients, and it's
Right.
just like, you know, of course you want to consider, or you could be considered a friend, but it's like also, where's the line? Where is that line? And if you guys aren't clear on that, then I think it can easily turn into one of those situations. But I definitely think as you continue to elevate your clientele,
Yeah.
it definitely starts to weed out some of the nonsense, because it's like people are going to understand like this is still a business at the end of the day, and
Right.
I'll do I can do a favor here and there when we have a good repertoire. You know, I know you usually pay on time, or you usually do this and that, and
Right.
you know we can figure it out
Yeah.
a different way.
So
Or, you know,
what would you say is something you like? You've learned that, but like, how do you apply that going forward? Like, how do you get in front of that so it doesn't turn into that? You know what I mean? Like, you had that conversation up front, or do you like? Do you
absolutely.
match the goals up with the person? Like, what is that?
Definitely, like having those conversations more up front and being as explicit about it as possible. I think sometimes I've even gotten to the point where it's like contracts,
Yeah.
like contracts just need to be signed, and it don't have to be nothing crazy, and but
It's
it's
a
just like,
commitment, right?
yeah, this is what I'm planning to deliver to you,
Right.
and this is what is expected of you, just making those things crystal clear and having them in writing.
100%, yeah.
We talked about it, but that don't mean we're gonna remember it word for word, how it needs to be remembered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It could even just be a text or an email.
yeah,
Oftentimes.
exactly, yeah.
As
So
long as it's written down, so that way we can reference it later.
if needed,
when you're
yeah.
Confused about why I'm asking you for money.
Right.
Like, yeah, so in $1,000.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
I thought we were bros. We are.
We are bros.
But
We can only be bros if I gotta pay some rent.
right.
We can't be hobos. Homeless,
Oh, bros.
Money.
Yeah, so I think that's definitely a big part of it, like the clientele and just having stuff in writing. So definitely trying to do more of that. I mean, I've been doing it, but then again, there's just certain scenarios where it's like I think I'm dealing with the homie and it don't pan out that way, or you know.
Might be the dead homie and not the homie.
Oh my.
You said what?
Hey, don't go so dark.
Yeah,
They gonna saw the bitch in the yard. I can say dead homies. They gonna saw the lady in the yard.
Right.
Yeah. One thing I think that's cool about you is that you make an effort to get out and about and see the world.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really dope. I'm a big advocate of just moving around.
As-
Even if it's just like going to a different city, even in the same state. You know what I mean? It's like so important to just see how other people live, consume art, how people express themselves.
Absolutely.
How much do you put that in like you in your craft, or like how does that I guess reflect in how you live?
I think. I mean, right now we got to get back to that because having 2 kids,
Oh, yeah.
back to that,
Look different.
it's looking a little different these days. But
Like, you watch my kids for a week, or are we saving up to take the whole damn team?
right, absolutely. So it looks a little different these days, but I think even still, you know, with this like the Kendrick trip that we're trying to take, it's like still trying to figure out ways that we can have fun and do what we got to do, like explore stuff.
Get the inspiration.
Exactly, and you know, Leno, me and you going to Atlanta, that was a fun trip, and some dope music
great
came out of
time.
that. So
We did make some dope music. I also learned a lot about Chris too. I thought Chris was like a calm, just
I am.
easy.
I be chill, man. I be
No
chill.
motherfucker be guilty. They don't even let you finish saying it.
I be chilling, man.
They start pleading that case. I might be more accolades, but I'm not. I was like, oh, Chris is, you know what I'm saying? I like traveling with Chris, which I do. I will pick you, right?
Yeah.
But I learned that Chris got like road rage.
I do not goddamn road rage.
Yeah.
Stop, no.
Okay, well, let me not say that just in case. I ain't gonna say road rage.
Trying to beat the case, man.
He's just a bit passionate.
Yes, about dumb
car.
drivers. About dumb drivers
And we
sometimes.
ride,
I don't even know.
right. Chris was like, blah, come on, what you doing? I said, oh, shit. Oh, Chris was a horn blower. He's that guy. He's a horn.
Hey, if they ain't doing what they need to be doing, hey, we gonna need
your ass.
to let's speed this up.
And then when
That
it
is
was
a green light, my boy.
so when it was my turn to drive, I'm kind of passive. Oh yeah. Chris like, you ain't gonna blow the horn.
Hey, you ain't gonna hit
You ain't gonna
him.
bang
He
on
just
this
cut you off. You gonna allow that?
He's seeing the passenger. She's like, He was just hella disappointed.
Wouldn't be me.
Like, hey.
They gonna hear this horn.
I knew something had to be up with this Lego guy.
Yo.
Man.
We're getting a flag about. I think Chris is gonna make some.
Yeah, I think they want Chris. I think they want. All right, Chris, give us. Can we just get his welcome to a moment?
Yeah.
All right, so we do the thing on the show called the welcome to a moment. Like, so what this is tell us about a time when you feel like it showed you like I am headed in the right direction. This moment right here is like I need to keep going with the Wic Jones brand. I need to keep pushing my line. Something that just popped out and just like, yeah, this is it. I'm welcome to it.
I think what was really that moment for me, you know, was a few different beat battles that I did, but I think one in particular in Texas that we did. It was interesting, you know, going out. It was for South by Southwest. It was during South by Southwest, I think. I could be wrong, but we were in Texas for some reason, and I did a beat battle down there, you know, on the whim, like, hey, you know, just join the beat battle. I think I made it past like the first 2 rounds, and in the 3rd round, it was like a vote, like the whole. I think was it the room voted, whatever the voting system was.
Yeah.
The result was me losing.
Yeah.
And when I tell you the whole room booed,
Oh wow.
because they were like, yeah, no, that shouldn't be an L.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, but the whole room booed, and it's like I knew probably like five people in the room. So it's like, you know, those were people that were there with me. So it's like, I don't,
Y'all be cheering for me.
exactly. So
I don't know any of these guys that are going nuts right now.
right. So it was just a dope experience to where it was like, you know, I took an L, and I wasn't even mad about it. You know, I pulled up and came to do what I wanted to do, and which was just let them know about the Wic Jones music, the brand and stuff, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And having them kind of fighting on my behalf, you know, it showed me, it's like, even I felt like it wasn't a loss, but the room was like, yeah, nah, like, y'all tripping.
Yeah.
And then even afterwards, the judge put me aside, he's like, yo, man, I just want to let you know you did have that, but he's from Texas.
Right.
You're from, you know, wherever you from. So it was literally politics. So I was just like, you know, I wasn't even mad. I'm like, whatever, you know.
Totally.
I did what I came here to do.
Yeah.
So
That's the moment, though.
that was really the moment that it just really stuck with me. That it's time to keep pushing and really like get full gas forward.
Yeah.
You know, don't let other people, you know, saying that you need to do this, you need to find a sound, you need to do that, and don't let that stop me from continuing to do what I'm doing already, because it's proven to be valuable. It's proven to work to some extent where a whole room is willing to get behind me that I don't know, and you know, so I think that was definitely my welcome to it moment, because it was life changing. I was like, all right, I'm on to something.
Hey, who is Jones? It don't get no better than that, y'all.
Yeah, tell me where they can find you.
At Wic Jones, wicjones.com, wherever. Come find me. Let's work on some music, create some magic.
Come on, man.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, welcome to it, y'all. Thank y'all.
We love you.
That's it.
Dope.
Dope.
It's all good.
What
Love
up,
you guys, man.
Love you.
They really are.